G'day guys, how you going? It's Iska here. Thought I'd do a dryer video. I found something that I haven't really kind of addressed before in any of my previous videos. And yeah, let's see how short we can make this one. Listen, this here is a Fisher & Paykel dryer. It's a very, very popular dryer. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of these in Australia. I'd say the Fisher & Paykels, as well as the Simpsons down here, are the most popular dryers that people buy. But as you can see, that particular dryer there, it doesn't have a door. And yeah, I don't come across too many dryers that don't have a door, but what I do come across is dryers that have this particular problem. And I'm not sure if we can get this to focus. There we go. Do you see that little bit of paper there? Well, that shouldn't be there. And we're not focusing again. Come on, focus. But, well, you see what I'm saying. But that isn't there. Let me just tell you what that is. Well, in fact, let me just show you the door of one of these Fisher & Paykel machines. This is a door that I've pulled off another machine previously. That's what it looks like upside down. Now, I'll tell you the reason people stick that paper in there. It's a very easy reason, and that is because, listen, if we come and have a look here, let's have a look at this. Can you see there? That's how the door is supposed to be. Now, if I open that, see if I can just set you down here and do this. All right. Okay, if we open that, look where my thumb is up the top there. You see that dicky bit of plastic that's on the door? Well, that is supposed to basically slot in where that bit of paper is, or cardboard. I think they're just using cardboard. In fact, let's pull it out. And that, my friends, oh man, it's really well put in there. Oh. In fact, you can actually see there. So that, my friends, is the kill switch. So that's the switch that basically kills the dryer when you open the door. Easy, right? Very easy. Now, the problem that you find with these Fisher & Paykels, you never find it with the Simpsons, very rarely, although Simpsons do have their own list of problems. But with Fisher & Paykel, the problem is these doors are absolute crap. They are, seriously, like, they're so thin. They're incredibly thin. And what happens is, over time, with the constant heat that comes out of the dryer, it warps the doors. It actually, yeah, it warps them, and they bend and they flex. And what happens is, over time, that dicky bit will actually end up coming out. It'll pop out, and that piece of plastic that's supposed to be hitting the kill switch no longer makes contact. So yeah, you see people doing it all the time. They stick paper and card in there. In fact, if we have, well, I can see it, I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. There is actually a little switch there. You can actually, well, you can see the metal piece. I actually get a bit of a reflection off. There you go. I'd say that's it. So yeah, so that dick is supposed to hit that bit of metal and hit the switch. But yeah, like I said, these things, they just warp and they kind of bend, and that's what people do to fix it. Now, with these, so that's a Simpson down there, right? Simpson and Electrolux are exactly the same dryer. Now look at this. The doors are exactly the same. These doors, they don't flex at all. They're solid. They're incredibly solid. You don't have that problem. In fact, their kill switch is here and goes in there. And to be honest, over years, that can actually kind of get a bit buggy as well. And I'll probably go into that in another video sometime. But you never get that door warping where the switch will no longer make contact with the kill switch. So what do I do when I get a dryer like that? Well, the easiest thing, seriously, the easiest thing to do is, I don't know if you can see this, this is on the ground. This is the same dryer, is to basically open the door, just hold it like this, and just bend it like that. Just flex it, and you watch, it'll actually bend back quite easily. So that's the easiest thing. That's the way to fix it. But we are going to actually put an entire new door on that machine, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. But that's the way to do it. I mean, you don't have to stick cardboard or paper in there. Just flex the door back. Now, I guess sometimes you do find these doors. You do find that dicky little piece of plastic up there. I have seen it where it does snap off occasionally. So I don't know, maybe that's what happened with this machine. I can't be sure, it didn't have the door. But you can actually see here, someone's actually left the hinge on, but the door's been snapped off. But yeah, so not always that solution where I bend the door back will fix it, because a lot of the time that dicky little bit of plastic that goes in there and hits that switch may have broken off. So just remember that. If it has broken off, for sure, do that, you know. Stick a little bit of cardboard in there and just hold that switch down, I guess. But there we go. Now I am going to put a new door on here. I'll show you actually how to replace a door on one of these dryers. It's actually not as easy as you think, although it isn't difficult by any means. I mean, like with these Electrolux and Simpsons, it's basic. All you do is you just take that screw out there, you take that screw out there, pull the door off, and that's it. So easy. But with these Fisher and Paykels, sure, you have to actually undo that screw there and that screw there. But remember this, if anything, take away from this video, you have to lie this dryer on its back. Because what will happen, there is actually a plate, there's a back plate that sits freely behind here, and these screws get screwed into that back plate. So if you actually pull these two screws out, that back plate will fall down. And believe me, it's a nightmare getting that back in. I think you have to literally take the drum out of the dryer and all of that kind of stuff. So let's do that. Let's actually, I don't have much room. Look at this. I've got that much room to play with. But we'll work something out. I'll throw a cushion down there. And otherwise it's pretty easy. You just take these two screws off, take this off. Now I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this, because you can see this door's been ripped off. Oh, I see. Yeah, so that bit that I just had my hand on, that's already in there. Yeah, it'll be an easy thing. Just have to remember there's a couple of washers, and just watch what I do. All right, so let me just lie this down and I'll be right back. Oh, hey, before I actually do that, I'll just show you one other thing with this particular dryer. I'm not going to be turning this on straight away after this fix, because this dryer still isn't going to be fixed, because I just noticed something else. Can you see that drum in there? Can you see this part? This is the lip that goes inside. Oh, let me see. There we go. That lip there should be inside here. Well, that's actually come out. And the reason that would have come out is because this dryer would have been thrown off the back of a trailer or something like that, and the force of the jolt did that. That's probably the only thing that's wrong with it. Well, apart from the door, that's the reason they threw it. So what I will do is I'll take the back off, pull the bowl out, reposition it, make sure it's all working nicely, put it back together and test it. But I'm not going to do that in this video. What I'm about to show you is how to replace the door. Okay, I just thought I'd show you that. But yeah, that's what happens. If you have a look down here, you can see how it's dropped right down there. I can stick my finger in that gap. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I can. Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure I can't just fix that with brute force. Oh, maybe I can. Oh, there we go. It's in. It's in. I did it. Let's see if it turns. Oh, listen, I'm going to have to pull it out and just have a look. But it's definitely rubbing on something in there. I'm not sure what it is. It's definitely in the lip there. Who knows, maybe the belt's come off as well. So I'll do that in another video. Well, no, I'm not going to do it in a video. It's not that interesting. But this is all about the door, remember. I've got my cushion down here. That's where I'm going to place this dryer. And in fact, I won't do another take. Let's just drop it down while I'm here. Alright, you just need a Phillips head or one of these, an impact driver. Let's have a look here. I'll set you up here if you can see what I'm doing. Now, first of all, let's just find a door. I'm going to grab this door. It's a little bit off white to the dryer. I don't really care about that, but there's no cracks or anything in it. And it will, you know, wipe down and look quite nice on it. So I'll use that one there. But, okay, so first of all, what we need to do is take these two screws off, and that will actually take this cover out. Now just be gentle, just lift that up like that. Okay, now we've taken those two off. Now what we have to do also is take at least one of the, in fact, let's just try and do one. Yeah, we only need to take one. The other one should actually hold that back plate that I was telling you about on. So in fact, you might be able to do this with it upright. Just make sure you don't take that bottom one off or take one of these off. So that's a very important thing to know. You have to leave at least one of these screws in. Now, let me just remove this. This bit should be with the door, so I'm just going to throw that because that's on our other door. Now, let's have a look. So remember, there's actually a little washer. Not see. So there's a washer that goes on the top of that little tiny little post type hinge thing. So put that back on. Now let me grab my door. So yeah, see, I don't do this that often. Honestly, I honestly try to avoid working on Fisher and Paykel machines. They're not bad machines, but they're a bit of a nightmare when it comes to maintenance. I only do basically a couple of certain things. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this. So there's our door. You can see the little hole there. That little post is supposed to notch into. So let's just pop that one there. Then we'll get this. Make sure that that's going into that end. There we go. Alright. Now that that's on there like that, let's just put that screw there. Screw that down. There we go. Nice. All right. But remember, we have to put this cover back on. So let's actually do that now. I think that just goes on like that. In fact, I think I'm missing. Remember what I said about those washers? Oh, look at this. What's this? I missed that washer, so I have to go back in there now and actually pop that back on. That must have been on the bottom one. Yeah, I'm just missing one on the bottom there. So let's actually take that bottom one off. Remember, this one here in the top is actually holding that back plate on, so that's a good thing. Put that washer on there. There we go. Now let's just screw that in. Make sure it, there we go, that's actually working a lot nicer than it did before. Alright, and we'll stick that on there. Just put this drill driver down. There you go, so that's it, the door's fixed. Just have to wipe that down. That'll look quite nice once it's wiped down. But that's how you replace a door, I guess, on one of these things. It's pretty simple. Like I said, yeah, so obviously you don't really need to lie it down like I've just done. Yeah, I just kind of forget sometimes. But yeah, if you want to do it upright, make sure you just take one of these screws off and leave the other one in. Otherwise, that back plate that sits behind there holding this hinge on for this door will fall down, and then you're in trouble. But there you go, guys. I hope you got something out of that. Let's see if we can kind of call this one a wrap, and I'll go in and try and fix this up. In fact, I'll still record, and if it's worth putting up, I'll put it up. Oh, there we go, all fixed, and it works great. In fact, it's like it's brand new. This machine scrubbed up really well. It is like it came out of the shop. I actually put a brand new motor capacitor inside this machine while I was fixing up that bowl problem. And yeah, it's seriously like the day it was sold. So what was the problem? Well, what had happened was they had kicked this off the back of a trailer, and the force of the impact had dislodged the bowl, pushed it into the motor, and these motors are only held in by 2 clips, believe it or not, and one of those clips gave way, so I had to put that clip back on, put everything back into place, and there you go. It was as easy as that. There was nothing broken inside. We got lucky, and yeah, there you go. It's awesome. It's really cool. So as far as replacing the door on this machine, just remember you can replace the door with the machine upright like this. It just means that once you take this particular piece off, this cover, that the 2 screws underneath that one, you basically cannot take those 2 screws off at the same time. Otherwise, the back plate that is inside the machine will fall down inside the machine, and you will have a nightmare time trying to get that back into place. Most people will probably throw their machine out if that happens. So just remember that. There's no reason to take both of those off at the same time anyway. You only need to take 1 screw off, like you saw. Yeah, there you go. But I'm going to can this. This is it. It's a wrap. I'd like to say thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.